So we are what, a little bit around 10 months away from the release of Grand Theft Auto 6, and we know a shockingly small amount of information for this overwhelmingly popular title. And I think a lot of that is by design, mostly because the one obvious reason is because this is going to be the biggest entertainment, not just video game release, but the biggest entertainment release of all time come May of 2026, if that is in fact when it ultimately ends up launching. I've got my reservations on it, probably because, well, we know very little about it. We had that one mediocre trailer at the tail end of 2023, and then the one excellent trailer from earlier this year that, I still maintain is one of the best trailers that I've seen for a video game in a very, very, very long time. And so that was designed to win over some of the naysayers, or at least some of the skeptical group that was out there. And honestly, I'm definitely inclined to cheer this game on because it's looking pretty good so far. It's just, is it enough to push me over the edge to actually make the day one purchase? It would be the first time since, God, what, Vice City, maybe, that I haven't bought a GTA game on release. Mainline, I'm not talking about any of the, Liberty City stories, Vice City stories, or anything like that, but the mainline GTA 6 game, yeah, maybe, but we'll have to see the closer that we get. It's just, I know I might be holding off for a minute, mostly because playing an action game at 30 FPS, I would rather put razor blades in my eyes, replace my contact lenses with saran wrap, than subject myself to that visual and audio terror. But once again, I also think that this is all by design, because Rockstar knows that, yeah, they have a gem on their hands. They would literally have to mess this up worse than James Gunn did with the marketing for Superman in order for this not to be the biggest thing ever when it releases. And so they can leverage that position, and we come to this news that's out there about this game running, okay? Like, we don't know anything about the story. We know very little about the characters, but we know that it's going to run at 60 FPS 4K on the PS5 Pro, right? If you remember, what was that, back in November or something like that? The PS5 Pro launched, and it was simultaneously dropped and forgotten within a week. A $700 price point for a console that is a nominal upgrade from a 2020 piece of plastic that didn't even come with a disk drive so that you can upscale some games that you weren't playing to begin with. It was a foolish fool of an idea. But because Rockstar can be persuaded by either of the big two video game companies right now, and because Microsoft is just, whole hog on Game Pass, they can cozy up to Sony. They can bundle GTA 6 with a PS5 Pro. They can revive that dead platform. And Sony, instead of doing costly first-party games, can get into a long-established partnership, because the links between GTA and Sony go back generations at this point in time. So if they want to rekindle that romance, it totally makes sense, 1000%. And I think we even talked about this at the time when the PS5 Pro came out, and it's like, why would you buy this? Okay, why would they make this? Who's going to buy this? And what is the purpose for this console? We were all kind of left standing bereft of a coherent answer, but somebody chimed up, I forget who it was, who said that, yeah, this very situation could end up playing out. If Rockstar wants to bundle a PS5 Pro with this and offer exclusive benefits to Sony, like the first access to a 60 FPS mode, which, it's so funny, right? Because this is going to break all of the records on release in May, and then 18 months later, when they do it again on the PC release, we aren't going to have to worry about a 60 FPS cap. We're just going to have to worry about how degenerate the mods are going to get. So yes, take the rumor with a grain of salt, mostly because right now, this is kind of a time-gated issue. A few days ago, self-proclaimed insider by the name of Detective Seeds claimed that Rockstar's upcoming juggernaut GTA 6 would have a 60 FPS mode exclusively for the PS5 Pro. Mostly because, because the PS5 Pro is a nominal upgrade on the PS5 itself, but there's not much other hardware out there that can run a game that is promising to be this graphically intensive, this dense when it comes to coding. So yeah, if 60 FPS is possible anywhere, so they could still be doing dynamic resolution. So yeah, I could promise a 60 FPS mode, but will it be at 4K? I don't know. It might hit 4K in some pre-rendered scenes, but outside of that, yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. But honestly, I would take a stable frame rate 9 out of 9 times, and I'll give you the one for fun over higher graphical fidelity, because honestly, the difference between 2K and 4K, it's negligible at best. It's kind of like those people that say, oh, your eyes really can't see anything past 24 FPS, but the moment you slap them in front of a 60, let alone a 120 or a 144 game running, and it's like, you go ahead and you try to tell me that there's no difference right there. And for the first year of its release, I played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on its performance mode, where you got a smooth 60 FPS. And yeah, you could see a marked difference when the PC port came out, which I don't even have the most high end of equipment anymore on PC. I did at one point in time, but now it's a little bit outdated. But I could still, after a bunch of mods and even putting on some more graphically intensive mods, could still maintain 60 FPS, just kind of letting you know how far behind your standard PlayStation 5 runs. But I digress. Detective Seeds, who later claimed that he received this information from a trustworthy PlayStation engineer, it's probably his uncle who works at Sony, also stated that the GTA 6 would have multiple graphical settings on the PS5 Pro. Yeah, that's kind of standard for a lot of games now. You got the graphical and you've got the performance mode, so all of that makes sense. Okay, you noted that these details were subject to change. Yes, since it's all widely assumed that GTA 6 would only be able to run at 30 FPS on all platforms. Was that assumed? I thought we outgrew this bullshit in the last generation when you had your first wave of updated consoles. When you had the PS4 Pro, that was supposed to be your 60 FPS machine. But no, now we're just walking it back all of a sudden. Hilarious. Detective Seeds reports about the game came as a surprise to many gamers. GTA 6 was, after all, only going to be available on the PS5 and Series X and S at launch, and therefore seemed unlikely that the current-gen consoles would be able to handle such a demanding game at a high frame rate. Skepticism may end up being justified at the end, despite what Detective Seeds have said, as the chance of GTA 6 running at 60 FPS on the PS5 Pro are fairly slim. And at this point in time, speculating 10 months out from release is a little bit foolish. But there are other projections and prognostications that are out there, and well, this one, if you don't want to believe the 60 FPS rumor, which seems very likely in my opinion, you might be even more skeptical when it comes to this. GTA 6 will make not one, not two, not three, but $7 billion in 2 months, it's predicted. Well, I mean, if you're launching GTA Online at the same time, and if it's going to be at that, well, I don't even think at this point in time. I think probably the smartest thing, like if they wanted to capitalize on sales, not even if they're like going for any records or even just putting their themselves at a distance between the next closest game available, if they really wanted to maximize profits, if they were to just simply release the game at $70 at the standard AAA price point right now, that would be such a breath of fresh air, because we've been talking about the rumors that GTA 6 is going to launch at $100 for so long now that, yeah, just simply saying, no, we're just going to keep it at standard, and you're going to get all of this value out of that. That's going to be so much goodwill that is just right there on the table. And even if they want to do the $100 release, which I would imagine, like, you're going to have your special edition, your collector's edition, whatever other editions over the top of that, they'll end up pushing that price point past the $70, and maybe there will be that initial buy-in rate, but you'll be missing out on a bunch of other crap that's out there. Who knows what they end up doing, because we don't know anything about that. So yeah, there's a lot of other incentives that are going to be happening. And if there's going to be a GTA 6 PS5 Pro bundle, I mean, $7 billion, that's a lot of money, man. But you have to take a look at how well GTA 5 did before that and know that it's, 14 years? Going to be well over a decade between releases, and the fact that GTA 6 coming out has been a meme for years at this point in time, like, yeah, I don't think that's too far out of the realm of possibility, especially, yeah, in the first 60 days. But let's see. One venture capital firm driven by investments in gaming has taken an analytical stance, yes, making a bunch of predictions, including an ambitious suggestion that GTA 6 could generate $7.6 billion. Oh shit, it's even bigger than that, in revenue in 60 days of launch. All right. On LinkedIn, Konvoy's Josh Chapman posted a series of predictions based on internal chats at the firm. For those not in the know, Konvoy is a firm focused on investing in platforms and technologies at the frontier of gaming. The internal analysis of GTA 6 future yielded a diverse platter of predictions, some more obvious than others. For instance, the team suggests that GTA 6 will be the greatest video game release of all time. I mean, yeah, which is almost a given. Yeah, by several different metrics. I would imagine by copies and copies sold and revenue generated, it's probably going to hit those benchmarks easily. They also suggest that GTA 6 Online, or whatever it'll be called, will accommodate 200-player lobbies, oh geez, and host a thriving UGC component on the platform. Yep, taking all of the lessons that they learned from GTA 5 Online's evolution, and just plopping them right into 6, so you're just ready to go with your character that you've already spent thousands of dollars on. So yeah, you can buy all of the new GTA 6 skins and it'll be off to the races. I played like a couple of minutes of GTA Online back on the PS3, or maybe I had it on the Xbox 360. I think I had it on PS3 though, on the first release. I never got a PS4 version of it, definitely didn't get the PS5 version of it, but I have the PC version, and it's been a long time since I played it, but it's one of those games that I have on the back burner that, yeah, I'd like to get back around to playing. Unlike 4, I actually did enjoy 5, but it's never been one that I've really been fiending to go back to. I still gotta play through Red Dead Redemption 2. As much as I enjoyed Red Dead Redemption 1, it's just I was never really that. It was in that time when I was just really off playing games after, you know, experiencing some of Mass Effect Andromeda and just being done with the entire medium. Red Dead Redemption, yeah, dropped in that time when I was just out on gaming, so perhaps that's why I never picked it up. I see great things about it, and yeah, I got to get around to play it, but I digress. So here's the prediction. GTA 6, we predict that GTA 6 will generate $7.6 billion in revenue in the first 60 days of launch. Current release date is May 26, 2026. This will be the greatest video game release of all time, shattering player viewership and revenue records. Yeah, no, I could totally believe all three of those metrics will be met with ease. They estimate the 2-month window, GTA 6 will ship 85 million copies at $80 per game. Yeah, and if they do the $80 per game, which is that the standard now? I don't even know where we're at this point in time. That is easy. That's easy money, and that's not factoring in any of the other bundles or additions that are very obviously going to be included, because since what, GTA 4? Like, I know because I got the lockbox with the collector's edition of GTA 4, so yeah, that was definitely a thing. In GTA 5, I forget what it was, but I remember it was an oversized box that I got with that. Or like a map and an art book as well, because that's what they used to do back when they used to do fun things with physical releases of games. But anyways, yeah, so there's their stat sheet, I guess. And yeah, what are you thinking, 10 million pre-orders? Ooh, I think that might end up being light, especially, you know, if it's going to be on Steam, because they just shut down the Rockstar Social Club. So I guess you're going multi-platform, up with your own proprietary launcher. So, okay. As of 2025, Grand Theft Auto 5 has sold 215 million copies, bro. And it took just 3 days for the game to secure $1 billion in sales. So yeah, within a single day, 11 million copies were sold. So yeah, do we think that is so far out of the realm of possibility, especially with inflation as rampant as it is, as GTA 6 as anticipated as it is? But apparently, according to one naysayer, GTA 6 sales projections may be unrealistic, according to another analyst, Daniel Ahmad, the director of research and insights at Nico Partners. Hey, Nico, brother, cousin, let's go bowling, shared his assessment of Konvoy's predictions and noted that it's an aggressive forecast for the first 60 days. Ahmad added that Konvoy's numbers suggest that just under 65% of the users will have either a Series X or S or PlayStation 5 would need to purchase the game in that time frame. That's quite ambitious. 2/3 of players would be just immediately hopping on the game in the first 2 months. But that's ambitious. But is that really too much of an expectation, given just the overall lack of enticing first-party titles that have been out there, or just AAA fare in general? Ahmad also pointed that GTA 5 sold 32.5 million copies in its first 3 months in 2013, when the 360 and PS3 had an install base of around 166 million users. That's just under 20% of the players who had either console. Fair enough, and the PS5 is the only one that theoretically has consoles out there in the ether, so on the Xbox side of life, I don't know how many X's or S's are out there in circulation. I would imagine it's probably less, because that was right at the tail end of the 360 and PS3 generation. Because yeah, a year later, I remember, because that was the last time I went to a midnight release, was for the PS4, and that was in October or November. I think it was November. So yeah, that was at peak saturation when it came to those consoles. So Konvoy's projections may be out of reach, but they could be something that the company's projections that GTA 6 will introduce a new UGC platform that allows mod creators to build their own areas of the game. Oh shit, if that's going to be the case, yeah, it's over, man. A report earlier this year indicated that Rockstar Games is talking to Fortnite and Roblox, geez, why was that difficult to say, creators about making custom experiences in GTA 6. Yes, it could potentially allow creators to earn money by selling their creations to other players, with Rockstar sharing a sizable portion of any income. So yeah, I guess we're gonna have to talk about paid mods in the future if that ends up becoming reality. But all things considered, this game is going to be huge. Is it going to be $7.6 billion huge? I would think that might be a little bit ambitious, but honestly, stranger things have happened, and as popular as this game is at this point in time, I think anything is possible. So with all that said, Thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.